High School learners! Welcome to another episode of English and Academic and Professional Purposes class. I am Sir Noel G. Valenzuela from Santa Clara Integrated National High School, South District, Division of Batangas Province. It is a great privilege to be with you in this journey as you grasp new learnings in today's lesson through this video. So prepare yourself and join with me to learn writing the reaction paper review critic. This subject is designed to help students develop necessary skills required for academic success that promotes critical reading, writing, and research skills. Just a simple reminder, class. Make sure to stay in a more comfortable place with your pen, paper, module, and your worksheet in this subject for jotting down the important details to be discussed. In the previous episode, you have learned uses appropriate critical approaches in writing. A critic such as formalism, feminism, etc. Again, what is critical approach in writing? Excellent! Critical approaches are different perspectives we consider when looking at a piece of literature. They seek to give us answer to these questions. What do we read? Why do we read? How do we read? In addition to aiding us in interpreting literature. Still remember the RC Cola commercial?
Ma?
Oo?
Ampun po ba ako?
Ha? Sino naman nagsabi sa'yo niyan?
Kasi ma, lagi na akong inaasar sa school eh. Ampun daw ako ma eh.
Anak, di ba sinabi ko sa'yo huwag ka magpapa-apekto sa sinasabi ng iba?
Pero ma, sabihin mo sa akin ma, ampun po ba ako? Ha? Ma! Ampun ba ako? Ha? May paliwanag mo po ba? May paliwanag mo bakit may 4 na baso ko sa likod?
Matagal na namin itinago ito sa'yo, anak. Pero sa palagay ko pa naman ang malaman mo.
Given a chance to give your reaction to it, how will you write it? What critical writing approach will you use? Very good. We can apply the use of psychological, psychoanalytic criticism. This approach views a text as a revelation of its author's mind and personality. Thus, you can focus on the hidden motivation in the portrayal of the character in the commercial. But today we will expand more in your knowledge in writing the reaction paper, review, or critic. Now, what is critiquing? Critiquing is a systematic way of highlighting weaknesses and strengths, and weaknesses and its applicability to practice. Experts affirm that almost every reader can identify the strengths and weaknesses of a masterpiece. Why write a critic? A critic is an exercise in judging the value of the piece of writing or research. It is also a way of improving your own skills by looking at the way other writers and researchers work. It is a valuable exercise in the careful reading of the text that will increase your understanding of a particular subject. What are the functions of being a critic? To introduce the author, his or her work, ignite interest on a neglected work, show relationship between ages and cultures, contribute to better understanding of a work, make a study of art and its making. Finally, introduce the relationship of art and life. Just a reminder, class, a critique is the paper that exercises the value of a piece of writing or research, while a critic is a person who writes a critique. It needs to be clarified that when one performs criticism, it's not simply finding fault, mistakes, or wrong, but it aims to find excellence and perfections. What are the steps that we need to do to write a critique? It is important that your critique has a definite structure and easy to follow. You will need to think logically about how you sequence your work. Here is the pattern that you might like to use. First, analyze the text. This should include some or all of the following. Set up the main purpose of the author's book or article. Identify the main point that the author is making. Discuss the arguments that are used to support the main point and the evidence that supports them. Explain the conclusion reached by the author and how they have been reached. Second, evaluate the text. You will need to comment not only on the content of the piece, but also on the way in which it has been written. So you have to consider the following. Is the argument logical? Is the text well organized, clear, and easy to read? Have important terms been clearly defined? Are the facts accurate? Do the arguments support the main point? Is there sufficient evidence for the arguments? Does the text present and consider opposing points of view? Does the material help you understand the subject? What question, observation does this article suggest? What does this text make you think about? Third, write in standard essay form. A critique should be written in essay format. It will need an introduction, a main body of the text, and a conclusion. You will need to prepare a rough draft of your essay. Just a reminder, for more discussion about this, please see Self-Learning Module Grade 12 EAPP. What are the parts of a critique? The following is the different section of a critique. First, introduction. It defines the subject of your critique and your point of view. It is also the background to research. Second is the main body. It begins with a brief summary describing the project. It also discusses the strengths of the article. Also, it discusses the weaknesses of the article. And finally, the conclusion. Conclusion re-emphasizes your argument or point of view. It makes a final suggestion or positive and negative criticism on the book or article you critique. And what questions, observation does the article suggest?
And for your task to do, please see Self-Learning module to answer Learning Task 1 to Task 6. Please read the direction carefully for you to be guided sensibly.
Oh, my time is up! We are done discussing the concept or theories, writing the reaction paper, review, or critique. Nevertheless, if you want to learn more details about the lesson, please see Self-Learning Module Grade 12 EAPP. On the next episode, we will get to know the ways a writer can elucidate on a concept by definition, explication, and clarification. Once again, this is Teacher Noel leading you in the world of learning.